Anauliza Juliani kwani alislice governor empress.
No, I don't think you can slice. Wezi slice mtu. Haiwapeningi hivyo, si kwani mimi slice kwani you can't do that.
Ikonja hata siezi karanga uwe hai shagala bagala.
Niko tayari kulipa gharama, sitasimama maovu yakitawala, sitasimama maovu yakitawala.
This song became popular again in June 2024 during the nationwide protests in the country. Even most of the comments below the video are recent and talk about the Gen Z revolution. In fact, before the protests, the video had less than 300,000 views, and at the time of making this video, it had more than 800,000 views. Juliani is known for more than just being one of Kenya's greatest rappers. His most publicized aspect is his relationship with Lilian Ng'ang'a, the ex-wife of former Governor Alfred Mutua, who is now Juliani's wife. So how did this boy from Dandora become so influential, with fans like Vimal Shah, the late Bob Collymore?
I know you and Bob Collymore were very close, and I know mlikuwa mabeshte, mnatembeleana. And
former Kenya Chief Justice Willy Mutunga, among many others.
And one of my biggest fans that I'm always proud to show off with is the Chief Justice. Chief Justice unanipata? He wrote in one of the biggest articles, like his favorite song of all time is my single Utawala.
This is the rise of Juliani.
Wow. Even me dating Juliani right now, I approached him.
Wali to the row.
Julius Owino, better known as Juliani, was born on January 1st, 1983 in Bora, Tana River County. His family later moved to Mathare in Nairobi and then to Dandora Phase 4, where he spent most of his childhood.
Nilizaliwa actually Bura. We stayed kidogo in Mathare, and then now my pre-unit I started now in Dandora.
From a young age, he dreamt of being a famous rapper, driving luxury cars, living in fancy houses, and dating beautiful women.
So I always wanted to be a big artist and the most respected rapper. I always have to have the biggest car, the biggest house, the most beautiful woman.
He did date some of the most beautiful women, but more on that later in the video. Juliani attended Wangu Primary School and later Dandora Secondary School for his secondary education. Dandora is known for three main things: crime, Adam site, and hip-hop. Growing up, Juliani faced a difficult choice between joining gangs or making music.
The option we had is either, of course, crime or ball or other things, but I wasn't good at both. So music for me was a really good alternative.
Luckily, when he was in Form 2, his classmate Roba Mwenyeji, who was a member of Uko Flani Mau Mau, introduced Juliani to Uko Flani Mau Mau, a hip-hop group based in Dandora, Nairobi, and Mombasa.
I was in Form 2 and my desk mate was Roba Mwenyeji. So Roba Mwenyeji was a rapper now with the Uko Flani Mau Mau. Was part of Wenyeji in Uko Flani Mau Mau.
Uko kwa mikono za polisi utahepaje, umekutana na jambazi sijikate.
Like many rappers in the early 2000s, Juliani participated in rap battles at Florida 2000, also known as F2, to hone his rap skills. After winning many battles, Kama from Kala Mashaka, a founding member of Uko Flani Mau Mau, officially signed him to the group.
Kaanza kudu shows F2 hiyo siku, nikama win makompe, kama Keshaka kanambia kwanza leo ni msoa Uko Flani Mau Mau. Buddha! You know what it means to be told kwanza. Not anybody else, eh? Joni angesema poa, but Keshaka Kama for you to even impress Kama.
As a member of Uko Flani Mau Mau, Juliani was featured in the song Fanya Tena, and his verse was so good that it had to be the first one.
After that, I took over the rap, bro.
In 2006, the group released an album titled Dandora Burning. The first song on the album is an 11-minute song called Dandora Burning, which had more than 10 dope rappers, with Nazizi as the sole female rapper. Once again, Juliani delivered an outstanding verse, and his verse is again the first one.
Dandara, yeah, kauko fulani lazima tushukuru God kwa pale ametufikisha mzee. Mungu Baba, utufunike na mabawa, protection tukijaza snare kick na bar.
The album also includes Juliani's first ever single, Jesus Gnosis, which is the only single on the album.
Ongea chapsu najua nimeokoka, niliamini alipoingia mlemavu akatoka na wheelchair kwa mabega.
If you listen carefully to those two songs, you would have noticed that Juliani's rap content had changed, focusing more on God and salvation. This is because by the time Dandora Burning album was released, Juliani had become a born-again Christian. So what made him get saved? For that, we need to go back to 2005. Juliani was saved in 2005. According to him, having been born and raised in a strong Christian family, the decision to get saved wasn't difficult. Despite making good music, he didn't see any progress in his life, so he turned to God for guidance.
So nilikuwa conflicted sana.
Yeah.
But nilienda nikamwambia, hey God, venye unadai wewe da. I guarantee you hiyo siku venye nilimake your choice. I didn't see it immediately, but life yangu li change. Everything that I ever wanted, I got 100 times, 1,000 times.
His decision to get saved came at a perfect time because the gospel industry was rapidly becoming the largest music industry in Kenya, surpassing the secular music industry. Juliani began distancing himself from Uko Flani Mau Mau and joined other gospel artists on school tours. During these tours, he met Richard Jau, also known as A-Star, one of the most popular hip-hop gospel artists in the mid-2000s and now the owner of the YouTube channel CTA. A-Star introduced Juliani to his producer at Kijiji Records, where almost all gospel songs were being produced at that time. Kijiji Records immediately liked his flow and signed him. His first single with Kijiji Records was Pendo Kweli, featuring Kanji, the owner of Kijiji Records. The song was released in 2006.
Sorry, hawezi changanya majani na koko kwa kombe moja ya chai na kufeel lakini roho yangu Christ pia anadai.
He followed Pendo Kweli with the hit song Mtaa Mentality featuring Shiro.
Sina mavim's, jeans, ma bling bling, lakini na usiano
Mtaa Mentality is my favorite Juliani song to date. After Mtaa Mentality, it was just hit after hit. Unlike other gospel artists of the time, Juliani's music was more conscious than gospel, attracting many fans from the secular side. His songs were played in almost every club in the country.
And people don't give me credit for this, but I was big across the board. I wasn't big on gospel peke yake, so I used to hardly get gospel gigs. I used to get this side of the gig.
Fast forward to 2008, Juliani teamed up with other renowned Kenyan artists to record a unity song, Wakenya Pamoja, following the post-election violence that engulfed much of the country.
Hatuko supposed to kuwa hivi, sijui nini una support hu, sisi tunataka wa kuweka chakula mezani.
In the same year, Juliani released his debut album Mtaa Mentality. Besides Mtaa Mentality and other hits like Bicep, Sela and Kama CCC, the album includes many underrated gems.
Kila mtu mtaa anataka kuwa babi, that's why wana end up kuwa bandits. Hatujali Louis Vuitton Versace, tunavaa nguo kufunika kura piga ni kuchafua tu pinky finger na ink ya blue. Nilicheki kwa daily ma MP wanalala kwa bunge no wonder 500,000 jobs ni dream. Fair lovely na towering calls, lakini haifukuzi ushosho. Yesu walipokamna salvation, kuokoka ni leo si kesho.
The Mtaa Mentality album launch was a huge event, featuring major music industry names like Mayonde and Eric Wainaina as performers. It was so big that it was featured on K24 News, marking the first time a Kenyan album launch was covered on local TV news.
Challenges basically before jusikuwa used kuna sijai album before. Hiyo ilikuwa challenge sababu juu nini wase wanataka expect. But mostly ilikuwa ni experience tamu sana because I had to experiment. I had to do some stuff that wase hawajaifanya before on the songs. So na wase kureceive word by word, yani hiyo ni machozi moment.
With the success of the Mtaa Mentality album, many Kenyan artists wanted him on their songs, and he didn't disappoint. Some notable collaborations include
Kila mtu wana zeros, difference ni place decimal point iko. Siku hizi na dara penye za Bible, hey baba nishike mikono, highway temptation, niwe mfano shinda. Jela na airport kote unatoa kiatu na mshipi. Difference ni moja ina egg. Ni wrong kufloss, nikisema sina
Juliani is a multi-award winning artist, having won several awards both locally and internationally. During his prime, only Daddy Owen won more group awards than him. We all know Daddy Owen is arguably the greatest contemporary gospel musician of all time.
Okay, nilishilezo zote.
You won everything, that's here.
Okay, Owen aliwin kila kitu, but mimi nikona every year history. Owen ama mimi, but Owen alikuwa something else.
With his growing popularity, Juliani formed his own band and began touring the country, performing live at various concerts. To this day, I don't know of any Kenyan rapper who matches his skills with live bands. Just him saying Niaje Wasea would drive the crowd wild. And that head-spinning move used to drive the fans wild too.
I started doing the head. Hey, I wanna cheesy. So if you don't get the lyrics, I'll just do like this now.
During his many tours, he met Kenyan actress Brenda Wairimu at one of his concerts at USIU, where Miss Wairimu was a student. It was actually Brenda who made the first move.
I keep saying this, nobody ever approaches me. Even me dating Juliani right now, I approached him.
I met her physically in USIU, where I was doing a tour, and she told me she was my fan. We started having conversation and then things fell into place. She is beautiful, said Juliani. In 2015, the couple welcomed their first daughter, Amor Njeri. Sadly, 2 years later, Brenda called off the marriage, allegedly due to infidelity. Speaking to Standard Digital, Juliani said that Brenda leaving him was the best thing that ever happened to him, as it helped him understand himself better.
So mi niliachwa for a year, nilichafua, and I was disoriented and stuff like that. But I think it's the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I realize who I am. Like I went a little bit deeper into finding out who you are.
Relationship yangu ya God ika improve, because I thought I had a relationship with God, but I don't think I had a relationship with God.
Clarity of purpose came, and even most important that I saw her for who she is. But before ulikuwa unaangalia kama huyu manzi yangu,
mrembo,
mama watoto ni unaona?
Yes.
But now you're looking at her as a person, and she's an amazing person.
Back to music, in 2011, Juliani released his second album, Pulpit Kwa Street, which, like Mtaa Mentality, is a classic. The biggest hit from this album is Exponential Potential.
Wali to the row. Who's laughing now? Exponential Potential.
Other notable tracks include
Kisu ni cutlery, kwa mkono ya romba ni silaha na increase casualties. Iwe slippers ama sneakers, bora nitoke one point to the other. Ndani ya club, kanisani Sunday, wasema hypocrite tueni aje. Walikasirika, shule nilipata grades F. Walibambika, vile full tank, gari gauge F. Sauti za cricket, zinafunikwa na nduru za excitement. Happy New Year. Goda nagojea friends request, especially kwa wase wako kwa web. Kitanda yangu bado 4 by 6. smile, the world needs it, especially dental ikiwa yellow, meno white na maanisha ujala kwa liko juu. The only thing down ni magoti nikimwomba Mungu niko juu. Una point ka forehead ya pandre, acha utiaje iko nene. How you doing, brother and sister? Good to know you, nice to meet you.
In 2012, he collaborated with Juliani on the hit song Si Siri.
Maisha inatubamba si siri. Si siri.
This collaboration brought him a lot of backlash, with many questioning why he, as a gospel artist, worked with Juliani, a secular musician.
Hii metamorphosis ili hapenaje? Ulikuanga mswa gospel siku moja, alafu kaanza kuimba sijiju ya siasa na kura na nini.
So I've been talking about all these issues all my career, and the only difference is that maybe my audience is bigger now than before, but I've been talking about this throughout my songs. Kutoka mwanzo, from my first song to now.
All right, if you say so, because
you can bado nza nicall to gospel artist.
Bado wewe ni gospel artist?
Nikinga church siwezi fukuzwa.
After Si Siri, Juliani's popularity began to wane, and most of his subsequent songs weren't as successful. However, just when many thought his time in the music industry was over, he released Utawala in 2013, which brought him back to the charts. Arguably his biggest hit to date, Utawala comes to life during every protest and election period in Kenya.
Niko njaa siezi karanga, uwe hae shagala bagala.
You know what? Your songs are even more important in this election season. Ni kama ulikuwa tunajua tu kuna ile time wasa watakuja hawa sasa warudi tena wanataka kura.
Me wa hot cake after 5 years. Sasa kwanza calendar ni busy. Kwanza kesho niko nag.
And what about the Utawala live performance with the Safaricom Youth Orchestra in 2021? Absolutely unforgettable.
Iko njaa hata siezi karanga, uwe hae shagala bagala.
Between 2013 and 2016, Juliani released and was featured in the following hits.
Utamu wa maisha ni ati haujui kesho iko vipi nani. Utamu wa maisha ni ati haujui kesho iko vipi.
Nyumba bila mortgage, mountains ziko high bila gauge, jua ni bright bila kusoma. Commission of inquiry, wanakula commission bila kutupa ukweli. Imefika point tunachagua machozi ya tear gas tukipigania haki.
Also in 2016, Juliani released the song Machozi ya Jana in memory of international lawyer Willy Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda, and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri, who were murdered in June 2016.
Machozi ya jana haigandi, tutapanguza na furaha ya justice.
In 2019, Juliani blessed us with the following hits.
Wana Twitter, washikadau, stakeholders, kukiiva, and walibaki na nyama kwa mkono. Mimi ule boy mreal, from my locks to my soul.
Now, 2021, rumors circulated that he was dating former Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua's wife Lilian Ng'ang'a. They confirmed the rumors in September of that year. While many praised them, a few criticized Juliani, accusing him of stealing someone else's wife. However, the couple has always clarified that, like with Brenda, it was Lilian Ng'ang'a who approached Juliani.
So really everybody's saying ABCD is just hearsay, and people who, which is unfortunate, probably are wishing that for Juliani, for us, which is so unfortunate. But really, it does not concern me as much. I'm not too bothered about such comments or such people.
Juliani and Lilian married in a private ceremony at an undisclosed location in Kiambu County in February 2022. He even performed at their wedding reception. They welcomed their first child, Utheri, in August of that year. In 2022, Juliani had another successful year musically, releasing many songs in preparation for his third album.
Kuran my life venye Jesus walked ni hard. Wine ulevi kwa bar lakini kwa church inateremusha sacrament. Hakuna shoulder ya kuegemea, kila mtu ako shughuli, haso inaendelea. Wanasema kwa hii shamba la wanyama, wanaume ni mafisi pia ni machita. A man after other's wife, ukamwita man after God's heart. Who's your father? Ukipatikana kwa noma, ni one phone call, ama unabaki ni wewe na Mungu wako. Let's celebrate life. Picha za wedding na picha za matanga, ukidedi bado zinapata likes. So unasikia tuma bla bla bla. Una get Kenya na try kusema ona niogope mwanaume ana black belt kwa waist, kama ni survive kichapo ya mada. Kibiriti na washa moto kwa stove, ina feel useful, ina sao pia ni mti ikiban msitu.
Finally, in September 2023, Juliani released his long-awaited album, Masterpiece. While he didn't achieve the same level of success as his first two albums, he still received positive feedbacks from some fans. In 2024, he participated in the Gen Z protests across the country. He was also one of the Kenyan artists who performed at the concert in Uhuru Park to honor the heroes who lost their lives during the protest. Besides music, Juliani has been involved in numerous socially uplifting projects aimed at improving the lives of the poor. Some examples include Vina na Maana, Stand Up Against Poverty, World Vision Peace Tour, and many more. For many years, he has served as the United Nations Ambassador for the Environment and was the Vice Chair of Sports, Arts and Culture at KEPSA. He has also been associated with major organizations such as Google and the World Bank. He also built Dandora Hip Hop City, a facility designed to nurture talent in Dandora.
Whatever anybody needs to do to as a young person, wanaweza come to afanye hapo, you know, and most of the things ni hao ndio wafanya.
Hizi miadarati mwanzezi na bo na kama utanamini eno just equal life jobs ako simple sisi sote tuko equal.
Sadly, in May 2024, the government demolished Hip Hop City Center as part of an operation to reclaim riparian land in Nairobi County. This is not the end, but inauma sana to think that we were working on expanding to the neighboring spaces and upgrading the facility, said Juliani. Julius Owino, aka Juliani, has recently been in the media more for his personal life than his music. However, there is no doubt that he is one of Kenya's greatest rappers of all time. His catalog is full of classics, and the song Utawala will be remembered for generations. If no one else gives him his flowers while he's still alive, I will. Juliani, you are him. That's all for the rise and legacy of Juliani. But do you know what led businesswoman Michelle Talami to get saved? If not, that's the next video I recommend you watch. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you soon.